and 213 grain loads. I'll be testing out 2.2 grains of Alliant Unique and 2.8 grains of Alliant Power Pistol. And I'll be using my Smith & Wesson 686 for the test. Let's get started. $488. $543. Okay, this is going to be 2.8 grains of Alliant Power Pistol. Smith & Wesson 686. Error. $710. $648. $724. $630. Look, the spreads are pretty terrible on that. So we'll probably have to up the charge or shoot the bullet a little deeper. All right, we're gonna do the 213 grain with 2.8 grains of Power Pistol. $621. $580. $573. $598. And $587. Okay, pretty consistent. The heavier bullets actually seem to be more consistent with the loads versus the lighter bullets. All right, so let's go ahead and try 2.2 grains of Alliant Unique. Load them up right here. All right. 2.2 grains of Alliant Unique. $565. $552. $586. $589. $584. All right. Now that was a good load, the 2.2 grain. You know, it got me under 600 feet per second, which I expected. May have to bump the charge up a little bit just to get it to factory specs, but that looks good. That looks pretty good as well. All right, excellent. unique. 577. 600. All right, we got the 2.2 grains of Alliant Unique and a 158 grain round nose bullet. $6.17. Good. Squib. Same. Alright, I have two 170 grainers I'm going to fire. If I can get them in the gun here. I guess we're going to test the 170 grain thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to test the 170 grain with the 3.7 grains of Alliant Unique. I'll show you the difference. Okay, these are loaded with 170 traditional lube in special cases. Here we go. 639. 610. 606. 671, 703, 46. Do another shot. All right. 623, 710, 642, 708, 694, 634. All right, so as you can see, The extra 1 grain of powder, you know, it's the same, 1 grain of powder gets the same velocity as the 2.2 grain. Well, actually, it was like a grain and a half. So the shorter case with a shorter volume in it has a little bit more, more confined, so there's more pressure building in the case, send the bullet down range at a nice moderate velocity. All right, let's go ahead and back it up, then we'll head on home. We'll talk about today's review. All right, guys, we're back from the range, and boy, I missed that storm. It just came in. It's raining outside now. Anyways, let me tell you what happened today. With the 158 grain, I started out with the 2.2 grains of Unique with the Armscore 206. What happened was I had a lot of squibs, and the reason for that, and I'll be clear on this, I purchased the Lee 38 Smith & Wesson dies. Now, I mentioned in my last video that the dimensions for the 38 Special are .380. Okay, so when you put a round of ammunition into a modern day 38 Special or 357 revolver, the case dimension is going to be .380. Now, Smith & Wesson cases are .388. Big difference in it. And this is the reason why it came with a .361 diameter bullet. Naturally, you're going to have a bigger bullet. Naturally, the case diameter is going to be a little bigger. So what happens when you try to load these .388 cases into a 38 Special or 357? They're going to get stuck. Okay? So basically what I had to do was I had to take out a 357 38 Special sizing die, took out the stem, so I didn't want to take out the charged primer, and I resized everything back down again, and then I put them back into the Smith & Wesson flaring die and used that and seized them back again. Well, here's what happened. There was just not enough tension on the cases, to give us enough pressure to send those rounds down range. So basically what happened was I had a few that fired, and I had a few that were just like squibs. They just sounded like a cap gun, basically. And I had one get stuck. I had to take the bullet out of there. Thank God it was just a lead bullet. But I continued on with the 2.8 grains of Lion Power Pistol with the 213 grains, and also with the 2.2 grains of Unique with a 213 grain. So basically what happened was I just stopped using the M206, and I continued on the test with the Smith & Wesson 686-6, which was a much better revolver, for the test. So whatever the rounds that were not too loose, I was able to fire those out of the 686. Continuing on with the test, everything was okay. I was getting a lot of sporadic deviations, and standard deviations were just 100 feet per second off the ballpark. So again, I learned a lesson on trying to make 38 Special cases into a Smith & Wesson 38 Smith & Wesson. Basically, what you're doing is by making a short version of a 38 Smith & Wesson, all it is a short version of a 38 Special. That's all it is. Which again makes more sense because you're using modern day revolvers. Okay, if you have a Smith & Wesson 38 Smith & Wesson revolver, you know what? You can use those dies and use the proper case dimensions for that specific revolver. But trying to put a .388 case into a .388 chamber, it's not going to work, guys. It's just not going to work. So what I had to do, change the setup on it. Again, took the decapping die from my 38 Special 357, placed it in and replaced it with the Smith & Wesson die, and then I kept the Smith & Wesson flaring die and charge die, and then I changed out the Smith & Wesson seating die, and I replaced it with the 9mm, and then I used the 9mm crimp die to crimp the shells. So part 5 is going to be a little bit more of a, hopefully it'll be more successful. Again, this is all, live. Nothing was edited out. Everything is what it was, and what you saw is what you get. So basically, it was a learning lesson for me. The cases, making these cases was not the issue. It was trying to get them to fire out of a modern day 38 Special 357 Magnum. That was the issue. So again, you have to load according to specifications, and it's very important you do so and follow those directions. Things can go bad really quick. But again, the ones that were successful showed me how much or how efficient these little cartridges are with just half the powder, you know, that a 38 Special has with the same amount of bullet. So again, 1899 38 Special came out, 20 grains of black powder and 158 grain lead bullet. Okay, that's the reason why they lengthened that 38 Colt Short into a 38 Special, you know, to handle all that black powder. Black powder is much bulkier, you know, than you know, modern day smokeless powder. So that was the reason why they increased the length of the case. Of course, when smokeless powder came about, they changed those charges differently. You know, of course, you got a lot of airspace, and for the most part, 38 Special was pretty successful. It was still an accurate revolver, you know, in spite of the extra, you know, airspace you have. But, you know, using these little short cases, you know, it gave me a whole new respect for these small little short 38 Specials. They're more efficient. You know, they are very accurate. You know, from a dimension standpoint, you know, I can see why many people use them and many manufacturers make guns for them. You know, they're not as loud, and they send those bullets down range just as fast as a 38 Special with the bigger charge. You know, so I was really impressed with that. But anyways, guys, I don't want to make this too long. But part 5 is going to come up, and based on the you know, the configuration changes, the dies are going to be changed, and so I'll get basically making 38 Smith & Wesson, well, 38 Special shorts versus 38 Smith & Wesson. So hopefully that'll be more successful. So part 5 coming up hopefully next week if it doesn't rain. I went out today in spite of the rain because I told you I promised to make this video out for you, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what happened today. So the 213 grainers in both powder charges, the 2.8 grains of power pistol and the 2.2 grains of unique, very successful. Very successful. The heavier bullets just seem to shoot better out there. Of course, you know, heavier bullets have more pressure behind it, so it was able to, you know, shoot out. Deviation was extremely well. Great. It was just, you know, within 20 feet per second, so I was really elated with that. So basically, I'll be working up on my 158 grain loads, you know, for next week. I'd probably be a lot better off with a faster burning powder on those 158 grains, so I'm probably going to change out to red dot on that one. So, okay, guys, we'll wrap it up now. Have an excellent Sunday afternoon. Make your favorite dinner tonight. You know, I'm sure you're going to do it for sure. I want to thank you for joining my channel. Please rate, subscribe, and please make those comments, guys. Probably a lot of questions out there that need to be answered, and I try to answer them as fast as I can. Sometimes I look back and I realize I forgot to answer some of these questions 3 months ago. But forgive me if I'm slow. I work long hours. Weekends are the only time I have off. Right now, you know, I'm by myself in here. I got the room to myself. So I'm just sharing all this with you guys. Anyways, guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a happy Sunday. And we'll catch you next weekend. I promise. All right. Bye for now.